New Things Day, February 1st, 2017. Hello, welcome. In a little bit of a weird mindset, just a weird week overall. Very, very trying week, if you will. Many different things going on. I just got done watching Fences, which puts me in a weird mindset also. I watch Fences because I'm working on watching all the movies that are nominated for Best Picture. So far, I got 3. I think there's 9, so got a third of them done. Watched Hacksaw Ridge, watched Fences, and Arrival. Fucking loved Arrival. I really enjoyed Fences too. But Arrival's like the only one, other than La La Land, the only one that's not really a drama, which I don't know if that hurts it or helps it. I don't know, we'll see. Well, I mean, it's a little dramatic, I guess, but comics, vinyl, and books. Just if this seems weird the way I'm talking, I will eventually shift into, let's call it neutral, the gear I'm usually always in. And by neutral, I mean 6th gear. Just full bore, just going, just gotta ramp up to get there. Just dealing with this week. That's why I have my panda bear, koala bear sweater. It's an ongoing debate with everybody I know. Is it a panda that is just like negative or like color swapped, or is it a panda and a koala? I know it's comfy. That's why I wear it, and it makes me feel nice. It makes me feel a little safe. It's kind of like if my hot dog outfit makes me feel the most comfortable and safe, this sweater is it's getting there. Sweaters in general, but this one in particular. I love the sweater. It makes me feel nice. First up, I got this, Ash Can Edition. Daryl Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer's Extremity, #1. I don't know anything about it. I know nothing about Extremity. It's a Image and Skybound book. I don't know. I know nothing about it, but I own it. If you know anything about this, let me know. Because why not? Quarter. Dynamite Vampirilla 0. It was only a quarter. So then, why not? Why not snag it for a quarter? Although I didn't snag, I'm pretty sure Walking Dead this week was a quarter, and I did not snag that because not really interested. And my shop ordered a lot of them because there's no Walking Dead book, I guess, being offered for New Comic Book Day. So my shop ordered a lot of them to give away for New Comic Book Day because that's what people are looking for at all times, I guess. Next up, just $1, and because I won't own the issue, I probably have another reprint of this, but I kind of like this one. This is the True Believers. This is Wolverine versus Hulk. This is the reprint of Hulk 181. I'll never own the issue. I'm all right with that also, but I just figure have this, for $1. Can't really beat it. Now on to the actual Marvel books I got. Deadpool 26. Hopefully we're back to a core story. 2099's out of the way. I haven't read it yet, but I'm hoping it is, and hopefully we have a story going. If not, it could even be a one-off as long as it's Deadpool, this Deadpool, and not 2099 Deadpool. Nothing against it. It really messes with the flow of the book, I believe. When they did the kind of the issues where they would go to the 80s or they would go to the 70s or they would go to the 90s, it still kind of dealt with the flow. It kind of still was a bit of a flow through the book, but the 2099 ones, I believe, switch up the flow. It's a different feel, and it makes me iffy about the next book. But I've still been loving the core story, and I've been on Deadpool since I started collecting comics, and I can't bring myself to drop any Deadpool book, obviously. Unstoppable Wasp #2. I simply adored #1. I absolutely loved it. I may have raved and ranted on here a little bit about it, but the difference between how the Wasp feels in Avengers as compared to in this book, it's night and day. She seems dull and bland and shallow and empty in Avengers, to me at least. And in this, she has heart, she has emotion, she has depth, she has feelings, she has brains, she has everything. And this book, the first one was amazing. I loved the first book. I read it on a whim. I picked it up at the shop and just read it. I was not going to buy it. I loved it so much I bought it, and I'm on it now. I absolutely love it. I hope the character continues being as good as it is, and it's fun. It's smart. There's a lot of callbacks to things, a lot of Pym talk, which is always fun. I recommend checking out the Wasp. I was expecting, for lack of a better term, kind of a generic female character, just another generic female character they're trying to make into a star. But in number one, she was a star, and it wasn't generic at all. It was fresh. It was new. It was great. I loved the first one. Karnak number 6. They're gonna end this right soon. We get like one issue every 2 months. I still love it. I still love Karnak. I still am in love with this book, but it's only a matter of time till they end it, right? I mean, they can't let this keep going. Well, actually, I just flipped to the back, the last page, and it said the end. So is this it? Did we somehow get a mini out of a book that they said was going to be an ongoing? Um, if that name is any indication, then yes, I think we did. Avengers 4. Still love Del Mundo on the art. It gives it a different feel to the Avengers book. Granted, as much as I love the art, it gives it a feel. Wow, this thing has some crazy, crazy stuff in it. As much as it lends itself to the story he's telling with Kang and the feel of the art, I feel like Del Mundo's art doesn't give as much importance to things as it should. It's almost smoothed over a little bit, but I still really enjoy it. I'm still enjoying this book. And Hercules is nice to see. Let's be honest, though. At this point, I'm only on this for Vision and Del Mundo's art, maybe a little bit of Hercules and Thor, and if it's Wasp from the other book. Basically, I wish Spider-Man would leave the team. Old Man Logan 17. This book's been great. It just, I can't stress enough. I don't think I need to, because I mean, people understand it. People are reading it. I don't think this book is in danger of getting canceled anytime soon. Deadpool and the Mercs for Money, number 8. And unless I'm wrong, I think it's 5 years after the release of the Mists. It's like 5 years in the future. Negasonic Teenage Warhead is uber powerful now. Something's going on. I don't know. The future thing is confusing me, of why we would jump ahead in this book and not all the others. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, I guess. On to DC. Batman number 16, I Am Bane Part 1. I opted for this cover over I believe it's the Tim Sale cover. I just prefer this one more. I like the look of it better. Green Lanterns number 16. And I like the other cover. I like the look of the other cover a lot, but Jessica was kind of off on the side. You couldn't really see her. So this one, I got it because you can see both Jessica and Simon, which is why I'm on the book. Not because of this, because of this. And because of the content. This book is fantastic. Cyborg number 9. I'm still enjoying this book. I've come to terms with the fact that I'm enjoying it. I think it's still a bit of a quandary to me every time I read this, and I don't know if I'm forcing myself to like it at this point or if I'm naturally liking it. Either way, if I'm liking it, I guess it doesn't really matter if it's forced, because even if it's forced and I'm liking it, I'm still liking it. That might not be a very good thought, but whatever. Young Animal, one book, Shade, number 5. And this cover is by, it's not the, I don't believe it's the Becky Cloonan cover. I believe this is the Jenny Frison cover, and I adore this cover. I'm just gonna adore everything this episode. Apparently, I've said adore, let's call it 44 times, but I do adore this cover. It's gorgeous. Last new issue of the week, Josie and the Pussycats number 4. This is the Audrey Mock cover. This is the regular cover, I believe. It's not the variant. Previews also came out this week, meaning it was Archie cover choosing day at the shop, because I am one of, let's call it one, people in my shop that reads Archie. As much as I try to sell it to people, I've sold a few, but not enough for them to hop on it at this point. I get to choose what cover I want, and what cover the shop gets. And sometimes I might change my mind when they come, which is fine, because I have those options. But I love it. I love looking at the covers. There's also a Moose one-shot coming out, which I couldn't be happier about, because I need nothing more than more Archie in my life. More Archieverse. More of it. More. And then my back issue of the week, Stalker number 4. Invade the Inferno and face the fury of the fire demons. Stalker number 4. Just a random back issue that I snagged up. 25-cent cover price. Shrunken head apple sculpture on the back. Here we go. This could be your head. Turn apples into shrunken heads with the shrunken head apple sculpture kit. I need to get my hands on that. That looks amazing. Wow. I'm trying to get involved. Next up is vinyl. And I wish I could say that I have gorgeous colors. I wish I could say that every one of these is a splatter or a mixed waxed vinyl, but it is not. They are all standard black. I found a grab bag, a mystery grab bag of indie rock vinyl, and I think I got them for $2 a piece, $3 a piece maybe. When it was all said and done, it might have been like $2.25 a piece. Not going to complain. Got 5 of them. So let's do it. By the way, never heard of any of these. I did a little bit of research on all of them. Tried to listen to a little bit before. I haven't had any of these on the turntable yet. Haven't listened to any of these at length yet. But I do know a little. I think I might know a tiny bit about some of them to talk. If you know anything about any of these bands, let me know. I mean, if I listen to one of these and perhaps don't like it, maybe I shoot it your way. Who knows? That may just be me bullshitting. You may never get anything from me. I may never get anything from you. But your watch is enough. You watching this is enough. Your viewership is enough for me. Don't know what happened there. Went down a weird path. First up is Citay. That's how I'm going to say it because it's spelled with an A. Citay. This is Citay's remixes. And it looks like, from what I've learned, Citay, I can't be honest, it's probably just City. I don't know. From what I've learned, they are a psychedelic indie pop rock band. I listened to very little. I guess they're very instrumental. Most of their backgrounds are kind of vocal. Most of their vocals are kind of background. But this is just a whole album of remixes, I guess. Mind you, remixes of songs by bands that I also don't know. So this is levels of unknown to me. This is pressed by Dead Oceans in 2009. We'll see. We'll see going forward if I like this. I'm interested. I like new things. Obviously, this is a day dedicated to it. Obviously, I like new things. Next up is Catfish Haven. This is Tell Me. This, I don't know when this came out, but this is the label that produces this is Secretly Canadian, which I think is an amazing name for a record label. Secretly Canadian. That's fantastic to me. I think they're based in Indiana, Bloomington, Indiana. I listen to them. They're kind of, for lack of a better term, they're kind of a boozer indie. If you listen to it, a lot. I listen to some of it, and it's a little mellower, but has a little more of an edge to it. But a lot of people were just saying, "I drink to this. I drink to this. There's not enough booze in the world for this." So it seems to me that they have that kind of a following. I didn't mind it. I like the guy's voice a lot. I can't wait to explore that more at length. Next up is Linfinity. This is live at Marcata demos. There was actually like a little letter inside of the box when I got this, and this is a limited pressing, only 500 of these, and every cover is repurposed. If you actually look at this at a certain angle, you can see like flames drawn on it, and it says like "awesome." I don't know what it would have been at one time, but it's been repurposed into a sleeve, or it was a sleeve at one point, and it was like kind of blacked over and redone. But this is handwritten on here. They're all handwritten on. This is a live record. This is a live recording. It was recorded, produced, and mixed in one day by Kevin McMahon, live at the Mercata. This is the first time I've also ever seen Bloomington abbreviated into B-Tin. I assume that's Bloomington because the other albums came from Bloomington. But from what I heard of this, I listened to a little bit of Linfinity, and they're very indie, but they have like some eerie undertones and a lot of eerie different sounds in them. So I'm excited to explore this more. I just may have to be in a certain mindset to do it. I'm not going to be able to just dive in randomly and experience this the way it should be experienced. I need to be in a certain mindset. I need to be a little relaxed. I can't be obsessing about my life. So today, probably not a good idea to throw on Lynn 50. Next up is Dave Fishoff's. It might be Fishoff. This is Winston Park, I believe. Yeah, Winston Park. This came out in 98, 96 maybe. And I listened to very little of it. I know very little about Dave Fishoff. I'm upset I don't know the name. But this is almost, when I would think of indie as a younger boy, and I was not having it. I was not interested in indie, even though indie has such a broad spectrum. There's so many different kinds of indie bands. But when the word indie was said to me, this is what I would think of. And this whole album was recorded in some guy's living room in one day, kind of the epitome of indie, I guess. But there's weird, it's really weird sounds, and he like whisper sings everything. Maybe as a whole, it would be really good. Maybe a cohesive thought, a cohesive feeling. I listened to like one or two tracks randomly, and it was very different. It was very almost off-putting for how unproduced isn't the word I'm looking for, because obviously that's a sound they had and that's the sound they wanted. But it should be interesting to actually get into this at a full, test run. Listen to it, listen to side A the whole way through, side B the whole way through, see how that goes. Last but not least, I don't know if it's least or not. These aren't ranked to me at all. I have to experience them all. This is the Perishers, Let There Be Morning. And from what I actually listened to these guys, I really enjoyed them. Just like a Swedish indie rock band. I believe they're Swedish. I think they're from Sweden. I listened to a bit of the song Let There Be Morning. The fourth track on side B on here actually has Sarah McLachlan. She does like the chorus, the vocals with them. I think they opened for her on one of her tours. She handpicked them to open for her. I'm pretty excited about it. From what I listened to, I'm really going to enjoy this. And this is another one. In that letter they sent, they said that they don't think the Perishers got the right reception they should have. They think the Perishers were a much better band than they got credit for. And from what I heard, I feel like these guys should have been bigger, but we'll see. This was originally put out in 03. This is a repressing from 05. So I can't wait to get into this. Hopefully it's as good as what I've heard. Some books now, I guess. First up, wow, this is very light. I'm not used to it. This is Samuel Butler's The Way of the Flesh. Nope, wrong. The Way of All Flesh. Books Incorporated, it looks like. Little damage on the spine. There's a hole here. Looks like a sticker was ripped off. No cover price. Art type edition. Published by Books Inc. This is the world's popular classics. I imagine this was a pretty cheap copy because it's pretty light and the pages don't feel. The pages don't look very quality. I think that's why they yellowed so much. So I don't think this is as old as this book looks. So I'm going to go, by the way, no dust jacket, obviously. I'm going to go with 1974 on this, and I may be way off. And if I'm more than 20 years off, I should just pack it in and get out of here because I'm not going to be able to save myself from it. This book was published, a little rip on the pages too. Well, it doesn't have a copyright page, so that alone tells me that I'm pretty far off. I honestly don't know. It was printed in the United States of America, but that's all I have. I don't have anything else to base that on. Well, I'd say stay tuned, and then I would look this up and get back to you, but I probably will not. I'm not going to lie to you now after telling you the truth. Next up, Culture and Commitment, a study of the generation gap by Margaret Mead. This published by Doubleday, the American Museum of National History Special Members Edition. Cover price of $5. It looks like this belonged to Thomas Fulton. There's his little library sticker in there. Not anymore, Tom. Not anymore. Culture and Commitment, Study the Generation Gap, $5 cover price. 1971. 71 on this is what I'm going with. Once again, 20 years off, I'm packing it in. Telling us other books by Margaret Mead. Not what I'm looking for. Nope. Nope. This was published in 1970. We're doing good. 1 year off. Was I one? I can't remember what I said. I know it was 70 something. Although it wasn't 20. I know that. It wasn't 20 years off. Next up. This is Roosevelt and the Republic by J.W. Bennett. This is an awesome cover. It's an awesome copy. It's kind of embossed in there, if you will. And then there's a picture of Roosevelt right on the cover. And then the spine just says Roosevelt Bennett. Definitely not as light as The Way of All Flesh. There's no, published by Broadway Publishing in New York. With photo cover, it specifies in here. I think this thing's pretty old. I don't know exactly how old offhand. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna take a shot in the dark here. 1930. We go 1930 on this. I think this thing is pretty damn old. Oh boy. Well, I should pack it in. I should definitely pack it in. This is 1908. 1908 on this biography of Roosevelt. I'm giving myself a pass. It's a badass cover for 1908. That's just me backtracking so I can keep doing the video. Trying to get through some of these books. Why am I talking out of this side and covering up? I should be talking out of this side. Next up is Xenophonitis. Xenophontis. I don't know. Xenophontus. Xenophonus. And then something in Latin. Book 2. Also from Thomas Fulton. Xenophontus. Here's what it is if you can make it out. Xenophontus. I don't know. Is this whole thing in Latin? Oh boy, no. I don't know what language this is at all. I don't know when it was published. Take a peek at that. I don't know if you can make any of that out. If you know what language this is, let me know. That'll be a nice help of figuring out when this book was published and what it is. I don't have a clue about anything. This is a reprint edition from 1942, printed in Great Britain. Originally published in 1901, second edition 1921, reprinted 1942. I don't know. I honestly. Sin, a novel by Josephine Hart, author of Damage, a hardback, library bound. No, I'm loving it. Cover price of $19. This will be 1982 on Sin. 1982. I feel like that's a lot of money in 82. This was published 1992. 10 years off. 10 years off on that. I thought about it at the very last second. Next up, The Last of the Mohicans by J. Fenimore Cooper. Hardback, kind of an embossed little art on the front with some grapes in the title. It's not. I mean, it's a little dirty, but that's more of grapes and stuff up there. Some leaves. No cover price, obviously. Nice picture. Oh, it's illustrated also. This is the R.F. Fenno and Company. There's a picture of Cooper himself. This thing seems pretty old as well. If I had to wager a guess, I don't know if it's as old as that Roosevelt piece. So I'm going to go 1916. Because I think this thing's pretty damn old. Slight decal edge on it. I don't know if that's intentional back then or not. This thing was published. Introduction. I don't know if there's a copyright page. Maybe out of shit. Out of shit. I don't like that at all. I don't like the way I came out of my mouth. There is a year here, 1905, but that might be the year that the publishing company was founded. So I'm not positive unless the Mohicans. Stay tuned to not find out. Next up, W. Somerset Maugham's The Razor's Edge, published by Blackiston. I don't know if that's autographed. It can't be. It's not the right guy. Somebody write their name in here. Daniel J. Something with a V or a U. Hardback. I don't know. There's some kind of symbol on there. I don't know what that symbol is. I don't know if you can make that symbol out. Severe decal edge. Wow. I don't know about the decal edge or if it got destroyed at a certain point. I don't have a guess for this. Some of these books have been pretty damn old. So 1925 on The Razor's Edge. This is a novel. And this is 1944. Sorry, 45. It was copyrighted in 44. It was published in 45. 45 on that. Am I 20 years off again? Whoever said I'd quit? 20 years off. Who said that? Wasn't me. Next up, American Literature by the American Book Company and Halleck. I don't know if Halleck assembled it. It's a history of American literature by Reuben Post Halleck, M.A., from Yale, author of History of English Literature. Published by American Book Company. There's an illustration here, The Return of Rip Van Winkle, which is a very nice illustration. This thing looks pretty damn old too. I gotta go 36. 1936 on this. God damn it. 1911. I'm either overshooting it by 20 years or dead on. 1911. Thing's damn heavy too. That's what a book used to feel. Get some heft on it. Gotta have a nice heft in a book. You just need to barricade the door from it. What? That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Thank you for watching. Follow me on Twitter at Breakdown Brand. Follow the podcast, my and my friend Stick's podcast. It's at Earbones Podcast on Twitter. Link to we do video and audio episodes. So if you want to watch us be awkward and strange together, and me usually wear pants that are too tight and or ill fitting, I'll leave the link to our YouTube channel in the description if you're interested in that. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Fan. Again, thank you for watching. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Love each other. Why is Vampirilla on the front? Oh, that Wolverine needs to go too. I'll show that off. It's a bad fan now. You got a bad fan. Dat fan? No, not Dat fan. Bad fan. Why would I talk about that asshole that won Last Comic Standing, season 2? May have been season 1. I'm not talking about that fan. Rich Voss treated him poorly. Yeah, we know Rich Voss treated him poorly. Everybody watched Last Comic Standing then. Now nobody cares. That fan. I want to do an hour. Worst ending ever.